Next topic is stack and stack pointer. We can declare internal RAM memory as a stack memory. So here SP means stack pointer, points top of the stack. By default SP points at 07H address of RAM. Using stack memory we can perform two operations, that is push and pop. Before push operation we need to increase the SP and then perform the push operation. After performing pop operation we have to decrease the SP. So how we are using stack memory in the other languages like C, C++, same here we can use. So look at this diagram, how we are using push operations and pop operation. So when you are using push, first you have to increase the SP, then only you can do the push. Whenever you are doing pop operation, so after popping you have to decrease the SP, then you can perform the next pop operation. So next topic is special function registers. These are also part of the internal RAM only. The special function registers are occupied by the ATH memory location to FFH. So previously we have seen 00H to 7F is occupied by the three parts of internal RAM: bank registers, bit addressable memory and general purpose memory. After general purpose memory we have special function register, nothing but from ATH to FFH. Look at this table, it is showing different special function register names and what is the functionality of that register and where we can find this register in the internal memory, nothing but RAM address, and that register is bit addressable or not. So here see, first register is A, nothing but accumulator. It is present at E0H address in the internal RAM. Next is B register and main function is arithmetic operation, generally multiplication and division, and address is 0H. Why 0 is there means E and F are characters. So whenever address is starting with character, initially you have to put 10 to that. Next is the DPL, DPH, nothing but DPTR, address is 82H and 83H, and you have to remember four port addresses P0, P1, P2, P3. So these four ports are having its own registers: port 0 register, port 1 register, port 2 and port 3 registers. That register addresses are 80H, 90H, A0H and B0H. So remember these four port addresses: 80, 90, A0, B0. So next register address SCON. SCON is used for serial communication. So that is 98H and S buffer 99H. So like that you have to remember special function names, its functionality and RAM address. Then is it bit addressable or not. And next topic is internal ROM. So here 8051 is having 4K internal RAM. So it is occupied by 40H to 03FH. So 4K bytes of ROM read-only memory is occupied by 40H to 03FH addresses, and it is used to store the program, nothing but we can call it as a code memory. So next topic is the external memory. First of all, we have to know what is the need of external memory. Why we have to attach external memory to the 8051. Whenever internal memory is not sufficient to complete an application, we need to attach external memory. So how much external memory can we attach to the 8051? So up to 64 KB we can attach to the 8051. Why only 64 KB? Because 8051 is having 16-bit address bus, nothing but 2 to the power of 16 equal to 64 KB. So you can attach up to 64 KB as a external memory to access that. So whenever 8051 attached with external memory, first you have to enable that external memory with the help of EA pin. So EA bar is there. You should be grounded that EA bar to enable the external memory. Then you can perform read and write operations with the external memory according to the type of the external memory. If it is RAM, you can read and write. If it is ROM, read only memory, so you can read out. You can do the read operation only. Now we will learn how to connect the external memory to the 8051. We have to connect 3 buses, that is nothing but data bus D0 to D7, address bus A0 to A15 and control bus, nothing but read and write pulses. So this is the way how to connect the external memory to the 8051. So you have to connect the 3 buses. Let us take one example. Example 64K EPRAM, nothing but ROM, read only memory. 16K EPRAM and 8K RAM as a external memory you have to connect to the 8051. So you have to follow 4 steps. First step is, so take EA pulse and ground it to enable the external memory. Then second step is, you have to connect the data bus from 8051 to the external memory. So which port is providing data bus? Port 0. So port 0 is having 3 functionalities. First one is IO, second one data bus, third one is address bus. So take port 0 8 bits as a D0 to D7 and connect to the external memories. Third step is we have to connect the address bus. So which ports are providing address bus? Port 0 and port 2. So 8051 is having 16-bit address bus. So 2 ports are providing address bus. So here port 0 is having dual role AD0 to AD7. So you have to get A0 to A7 from AD0 to AD7. That is called demultiplexing. With the help of latches you can get that. So look at this diagram. Here we are connecting 16K EPRAM and 8K RAM. Now port 0 is giving data bus D0 to D7, that is connected to the EPRAM and RAM. And next we have to connect the address bus. So here port 0 and port 2 are providing address bus. So port 0 is providing A0 to A7 and port 2 is providing A8 to A15 as a address bus. So you need to connect the address bus to the external memories. Now here depending upon memory size, external memory size, we need to connect the address bus. We don't require 16-bit address every time. If external memory size is 64K, then only we require 16-bit address. Otherwise, we have to calculate how many address lines required to connect the external memory. Example 16K. Then we have to calculate how many address lines required for 16K. 16 means 2 to the power of 4 and K means 2 to the power of 10. So if you take powers, 4 plus 10, nothing but 14. So here we required 14 address lines, nothing but A0 to A13. These many address lines required to attach the external memory of 16K. Next, if you take 8K RAM, so how many address lines required? 8K means 2 to the power of 3 plus 2 to the power of 10. So 3 plus 10, nothing but 13. So 13 address lines required. A0 to A12. Only A0 to A12 address lines are required to attach the 8K RAM to the 8051. So like this we can find out the how many address lines required to connect that external memory, and we can attach the address bus to the external memory. Next come to the control bus. So what is the control bus means? Generally we have to take read and write pulse from the 8051 and connect to the read and write pulse to the particular memory. If you take RAM, random access memory, with the random access memory we can perform read and write operations. So take RD bar and WR pulse and connect these 2 pulses to the RAM, and ROM read only memory we can perform only read operations. So we have to take PSEN bar pulse from the 8051 and attach that PSEN pulse to the ROM. So here we are connecting 3 buses. First one is data bus, second one is address bus, third one is control bus. Control bus nothing but read and write pulse according to the memory type. If it is RAM, read and write, RD bar, WR bar is required. If it is ROM, PSEN pulse is required. these pulses must be connected to the memories.